Hey guys, it's Greg and Janet with Strange RV Tours. Today we're in McKinney, Texas. We're going to check out the old town square here and tell you a little bit about who used to hang out here. So let's have some fun. Okay gang, right across the street here on the corner is a pub known as the Celt Irish Pub. That is a newer pub, but that building has been a restaurant and who knows how many businesses that has been inside of there since the Old West days. But back in the day, when that was a pub, early in its lifetime, the building was built in the 1860s, Jesse James used to hang out in that pub right there. And that pub is known to have trap doors and tunnels underneath it, ways to escape. So if the Pinkertons or anybody was looking for Jesse James or Frank James, they would have an escape route. Now this building right here, get out of the sunlight for you guys, this building right here is the old Collin County Courthouse, and it is known to be haunted by more than one spirit. The original courthouse, I believe, was built in 1874 to 1875. It was a wooden structure. This building was built in 1927, and man, is it a beautiful building. It just dominates this town square. Right across the street here, this building right here was founded in 1869. It's the First National Bank of McKinney. Today it's a clothing store. But this entire downtown area, I grew up in this area. I grew up about 25 miles from here in a town called Plano. You may have heard of it. It's famous for football. A lot of professional athletes come out of Plano. Well, when I grew up there, McKinney was, this downtown area was kind of a dying town. There just wasn't a lot going on here, and half the buildings were vacant. You know, they didn't just wasn't a draw. Well, they kind of gentrified the town and brought in a lot of different businesses like breweries, pubs, all kinds of clothing shops, unique shops. A lot of artists have moved into this area, and today this place is booming. And when I mean booming, we actually came over here 3 days ago to film this town square, and they had their annual music festival going on. We counted 8 bands playing at one time outside, and it was so loud that there was no way we could film. So this is a Monday after the festival, and we've come back out to attempt a second try. And we're gonna walk down here to 207 Tennessee Street.
Yeah, it's right here.
And there's supposed to be a bookstore here that was known back in the day to be visited by Bonnie and Clyde. So this is a verified Bonnie and Clyde location.
That's it. Here's the staircase.
Cool.
I saw the staircase, and that was it. It was called Woods Cafe back then.
Okay.
And now, then it was the book gallery. And now it doesn't look like they've got this going yet, but said something about a yoga studio or something.
It looks like it may have been a bank at one time too. There's a vault back there in the back.
That's what it looks like.
Maybe that's why they were here. But they were known to frequent cafes that allowed you to play checkers, because Clyde was a big checker player and he loved playing checkers with the locals.
Yeah. Wow. So you know that was in the 1932, 33, 34. That's when they were hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
This town also had one of, we're not sure which one, but one of the Earp brothers, not Wyatt, but either Virgil or Warren, spent time in the old Collin County prison here, which was the jail at the time. And that jail later went on to house Tex Watson of the Manson family, and it's said to be haunted also.
cool. You know, they got downstairs. You can see around the corner they have stairs going down. You don't see that these days. Not in Texas. So this was an old bank building.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is.
That'd be neat to live down there.
Yeah, they've got a French-inspired apparel and home down there.
That's cool. It says bank.
Yeah.
It says bank.
This is one of the early banks in McKinney.
That's cool.
This whole area downtown is really, really cool. It kind of reminds me of some of the small artist areas of New York City.
That's cute.
Now this building right here is currently a coffee shop, but directly above it is, this one's 111, directly above it is 109 and a half, and that loft is known to be haunted also. It's currently owned by Rachel Rattan, an artist, and they've had several paranormal investigations in there. But we were here on Friday, and we thought, well, if we came out thinking that if they do have some type of a festival, it won't happen till Saturday. Well, no, they had it on Friday, and it was packed, guys. But what a neat little downtown area.
Now, the Ritz used to be a theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
And today it is a wine cellar, and isn't it also a hotel or a restaurant? I'm not sure.
There's restaurants. There's a fine dining restaurant in there. There's a specialty high quality shops. Yeah, so
Neat place. This place is called Pumps, and they've got old fronts of gas pumps on the front, and this is a shoe store.
but you would think it'd be high heels, but no, these look like Jesus sandals.
And this is the Rockin' AB. Looks like a children's clothing store. Yeah, children's emporium, gifts for the entire family.
Wow. This does look like a theater almost, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look at the double doors like that. Huh. Pretty neat.
Once again, right across the street here is the old Collin County Courthouse, the back side of it. Two skillets on the square. The Gelato Cafe.
Now, Rick, that's supposed to be really nice.
Yes, this is an old Grand Hotel. Now it's Rick's Chop House. And they still have the hotel, but the entrance is on the other side of the street. We were in here the other day looking for Bonnie and Clyde, kind of on the search of their old hangout. And
You better wear
really
a suit
nice.
And tie. Suit
Yes.
and tie.
A very fancy place. And we've got the Landon Winery right here next to us. So if you're a wino, this is your place, right?
There you go.
A couple years ago, we met some family members here at this restaurant right here called Spoons. And the food was excellent. Very good food. Established in the 1920s as the Clausen Building. They got a big giant wooden spoon hanging from their entrance there. Very good food though. See, right here, the Texas 26th Music Revolution. That's what we ran into this weekend. And it was nothing but a traffic jam, man. Uptown Furniture.
Cool breeze.
Show you the inside, guys.
Wow. Yeah, that's nice stuff.
Yes, it is. Now, Jesse and Frank James used to run with Quantrell's Rangers, and during one of the winters during the Civil War, they stayed just north of here in Sherman, Texas, and Jesse and Frank really came to love this area, and they made several trips back, and they spent quite a bit of time here in this area, and the people here loved Frank and Jesse.
Oh, there's another winery back here.
Yeah.
All kinds of...
Lots of clothing for you ladies.
Yeah.
I had no idea that the downtown area of this small town of McKinney had become so beautiful and busy. I mean, they're booming.
And this is Monday, you know, so
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, like Janet said, it's Monday about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and look at this traffic. Wow. Well, we're waiting for this light to turn green for us. Tell you another little tidbit about the James brothers being here in McKinney, Texas. They were here, they came back to visit here right after the Civil War, basically. Jesse had taken a bride and kind of decided to honeymoon, I guess, in this area because he enjoyed it so much during the war. But when they were here, the federal government stepped in and they needed mules. So they came to the McKinney area under the order to purchase 400 mules for the military, for the government. Well, at the time, the farmers here in McKinney were really hurting. I mean, the Civil War had just ended. Nobody had any money. They were all starving and needed to purchase food for their families. So they sold their horses to the federal government, and they placed the horses in a pen just outside of town. There was 400 mules that were purchased, and late one night while the James brothers were here, they went out to the pen, opened up the gates of the pen, and set all the mules free. Now, if you know anything about mules, mules are not dumb animals. They're actually pretty smart. They all know their way back home. So these mules all trotted back to their home, and the next morning when the military and the federal government officials woke up, all their mules were gone and they were back home. So that really endeared the James brothers to the city of McKinney.
Strange RV tours will take you places with Greg and Janet's smiling faces. You might see a crazy flavored soda review or some tips to fit your RV too. So come along, won't you join us, friend, as we discover what's around the bend. Just sit right back in your easy chair. Strange RV Tours is on the air. Strange RV Tours is on